Okay, another video on photosynthesis. This is a lesson, and I hope my video and my voice will help you to understand presentation. So again, what we have to talk about photosynthesis. It is what is the photosynthesis? It is a process by which plants use sunlight, carbon dioxide, and water to produce food. What is food? Is glucose. They produce glucose from water and CO2. CO2 is food for plants. You have to understand that all this hysteria in mass media about that we produce too much CO2, it is complete bullshit, because plants need CO2, and in past there were times when concentration of CO2 was maybe 20-50 times higher than for now, and it was good time for life, for all life on our planet, that everything was growing very well, where there was a lot of food for animals, and life was flourishing. Now we are going to drought. It is so we don't have enough CO2, and this again, as I said, is hysteria, that we have to reduce the production of CO2, and we have to get carbon neutral. This is complete shit. It is not scientific at all. So the reason why it is promoted, it is just because some rich people think that we have too many humans on this planet, so we have to cut population maybe 10 times or maybe 20 times. Okay, so what we have, again, we have sunlight, which is a source of energy, and we have carbon dioxide, and we have water, and photosynthesis is producing glucose, but glucose is used to produce cellulose and other products. Okay, you see here that how it goes. So it is opposite to cellular respiration. Cellular respiration, you have to remember that, okay, there is photosynthesis. It is production of food from light and from carbon dioxide and water, and respiration, it is when cells are using this food for energy. Okay, respiration is oxidation. So first you produce carbohydrates in plants, and then at night, when light is not available, these carbohydrates are used as food, and by oxidation they convert it to energy. Okay, what is happening? So in plants and algae, photosynthesis is going in organelles called chloroplasts. Organelles, so it is again, a typical plant cell contains for about 10 to 100 chloroplasts, and chloroplast is enclosed by membrane. Membrane is composed from phospholipid, this inner membrane, and phospholipid outer membrane. So it is double membrane, because phospholipid is one side is hydrophobic, other side hydrophilic, and then it has to be double membrane. So it's and then it has to be outside hydrophilic and inside hydrophilic. So okay, and then there is some intermembrane space also, and inside the membrane, inside of the cell is and all this organelle also, it is just some liquid called stroma. You have to remember. Okay, that's okay. This green pigment in plants is using light energy for photosynthesis. The name of this pigment, chlorophyll. Here stroma. This is stroma is this liquid inside the chloroplast. You see here how this arranged. So you have membrane, double membrane. You have inside this stack of this chlorophyll and this liquid stroma. Okay, this stack of the chlorophyll, it has name thylakoid. I think thylakoid. I don't know how is it correct pronunciation. I'm not big specialist in it, but okay. But you see that a lot of Latin names, and if you can remember them, if you it would be good. But if not, okay, just remember that how this chloroplasts organized in some kind of stack. And okay, here's a good photo of this chloroplast. You see how many chloroplast in every cell. It's about more than 10, maybe 20. And what is, again, you have to remember the absorption spectra of the chloroplast, because of the chlorophyll. Chlorophyll has two types of chlorophyll A and B, and they have little bit different absorption spectra. But you see that they absorb light mostly in blue area, and red area. They are not much absorbing in green area. This is why this chlorophyll is it reflects green light, so it is the plants are mostly green color. And there is another pigment which is beta carotene. It is in some it is red color, so it has other absorption. It is little bit absorbing green color, and then it is, but it is not absorbing much in red color, so it is reflects red color. Okay, chlorophyll A, chlorophyll B. So remember that how it is not absorbing green light. So okay, here's the structure of this chloroplast again. That you have this double membrane, and this is this organelle is has also name, some plastid. Plastid, it is organelle in plants. Plastid is considered, and what is special about this plastid that we believe, or scientists believe, that this are not eukaryotic cells, but it is a result of symbiotic relations between the cyanobacteria and the eukaryotic cells. Okay, cyanobacteria are bacteria to obtain energy by photosynthesis. It's again, cyanobacteria were the oldest organism on Earth, and it appeared 3.5 billion years ago, and they actually produced oxygen. That time there was no oxygen. They started to produce oxygen. And also there are nitrogen fixing cyanobacteria, so it's a little bit different, but they're also important because you cannot produce proteins without this nitrogen. And then this cyanobacteria, they convert in nitrogen gas into ammonium, and then ammonium is this was used to make amino acids and proteins. So this cyanobacteria are the source of life on this planet. So you see, we have this eukaryotic cells, plant cells with a cell wall. They are different only mostly they have cell wall, and you can watch another my presentation about structure of plant cells and animal cells. A little bit different, but not much. And we have these prokaryotic cells by bacteria. What is the main difference? That we have nucleus inside the animal cell and plant cells, and then inside of the nucleus we have this DNA. DNA normally is not in chromosomes, but it is just a little bit loosely arranged inside the nucleus, and it is arranged in chromosomes only just before the cell is dividing. So you have to remember that chromosomes are not in that chromosomes. It is a way to arrange DNA only in not for all time, but for some special time of cell division. And normally this DNA is used to produce RNA. RNA are some segments with genes, and then these genes are used to produce proteins, and also to regulate all the processes inside the cell. So, and in prokaryotic cells, there is no nucleus. And all these organelles are inside. Some of them they have membrane, some not, and DNA is not in the nucleus. Okay, here again, what is in another very important organelle. It is present both in animal animal and plant cells. Here you see here this brown color. Here also this Golgi, yes, here yellow color, here is brown color. This is the mitochondria. Mitochondria, it is many mitochondria, one mitochondrion. So they are in all eukaryotic cells are present, and the cells need them to produce energy. So scientists believe how it was developed. So we have some aerobic bacteria, and then first step was that mitochondria went inside of this some eukaryotic cell and started this symbiotic relation. So, and what appeared, a nucleus appeared, and this mitochondria necessary, absolutely necessary for animal cells and plant cells to produce energy. And then next step, so there was separation between plant cells and animal cells. Plant cells didn't get this cyanobacteria, and they cannot produce energy from light, but then plant cells got next step of evolution, and they got this chloroplasts like organelles, which is producing energy from solar light. Okay, again, what is different in plants? That plants can produce energy from light. They use it to produce food, and then in mitochondria, due to cellular respiration, these carbohydrates can be used as fuel, and they produce energy. Yes, okay. So you see, and plants are using a little bit different way of photosynthesis. There are three types of photosynthesis, and like C3, C4, and CAM. Again, a difference is such that difference is in the process of photorespiration. Photorespiration goes different in these plants, and C3, it is just normal. Most of the plants are of C3 photosynthesis, like rice, like potatoes, etc. And only few plants have belong to C4 family. They are much more efficient in production of the energy, and they have different photorespiration cycle. And then we have the CAM. This is a relatively narrow family of these plants. And what is interesting, pineapple belongs to this class. So it's it's quite few of these plants have belongs to CAM class. Okay, what we have C3. C3, as I said, is very common. Rice, potato, wheat, and peas and beans. They all belong to C3 plants. They don't have much yield is not so high because they are not very much efficient in comparison with C4. C4, it is class of that. You have sorghum, we have millet, and we have maize, and we have sugarcane. These plants produce a lot of energy, a lot of glucose. They are much more efficient to convert solar energy into food, into glucose, and they are mostly grow in tropical areas, in areas where sun is available in large amounts. So it's again very special kind of plants. And okay, that, as I said, C3, it is normal plant. It is it does not have adaptation to reduce photorespiration at night. So at night, this C3 are using energy of carbohydrates to produce energy, but the C4 is more efficient. Okay, this what we have. This that photorespiration. So how it goes? We have First it is photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is goes so that we have CO2 and we have water, and there are molecules of energy ATP, and then glucose molecules are produced, so the sugars can be produced by photosynthesis. But photorespiration is different. It is actually conversion of glucose first to pyruvic acid, and from pyruvic acid to lactic acid, and then we have production of ATP molecules of energy in the Krebs cycle. Krebs cycle is working both in plants and animals. Okay, as I said, the cellular respiration, how it goes, we have plants are using oxygen, and they oxidize glucose in mitochondrion, inside mitochondria. Mitochondrion is necessary to produce energy. Plants can produce, especially also animal cells can produce energy not only in mitochondria but in the cytoplasm. So, but this process is not efficient, and then it is normally not in cells, not in healthy cells. This process is more common for cells which are infected by viruses, or it is cancer cells, so it is not common. Mostly mitochondria are good because they produce a lot of energy in very efficient way. So C4 way, as I said, it is much more efficient. It is an evolutionary step of development of C3 to C4 adaptation, because photosynthetic performance is increasing and water to nitrogen efficiency increasing, and they are much more efficient than C3, and because they have higher rate of photosynthesis and reduced rate of photorespiration at night, they don't waste much energy. Too much carbohydrates for photorespiration. So it's again, but it's only 3% of all plants, only 3%, not many. Okay, as I said, sugarcane, corn, quite common examples. Okay, and this CAM, it is also a result of some adaptation to environment. It is adaptation to dry environment. And only also not so many plants got this adaptation. They produce this way of the photosynthesis to minimize photorespiration during the day. During the day, they suppress photorespiration, and then they improve water efficiency. With this, so because at night the stromata, the cells for to get oxygen open only at night, and at daytime they are closed, completely closed, and so it's then there is no evaporation of water from leaves, and they are typical in very hot, dry areas like desert. So this is a kind of example of such plant, CAM, and also cactuses. And again, even to my surprise, pineapple. I didn't know that pineapple belongs to CAM class. Okay, whatever. Okay, we have this, as I said, three type of the photosynthesis plants: C3, C4, and CAM, different kind of plants. Okay, again, comparison. What comparison of C3, C4, and CAM? That you can read this table. Please just remember what is the difference. That CAM, they lose less water. They are more water efficient. And C4 also have good water efficiency, but they are very, very efficient in photosynthesis. They suppress little bit photorespiration. And in C3 plants, they lose water through the photorespiration, but it is maybe for rice it is not very not very important, because rice grows with a lot of water, as you know. Okay, so, and again, what is how these plants are adapted? This result of evolution and adaptation. C3, it is to wet environment, so it is like growing rice, and C4 it is about tropical environment, and CAM it is about dry and hot environment. And so we have this Kelvin cycle, and we have Krebs cycle. Krebs cycle is cycle of photorespiration, and Kelvin cycle is a cycle of photosynthesis. Okay, that's this is a different. Okay, that as I said, we have this Kelvin cycle for photosynthesis, and we have Krebs cycle, production of energy from glucose by conversion to pyruvic acid, and some pyruvic acid is used. This conversion to glucose or to pyruvic acid happens inside the cytoplasm, not in mitochondria, but inside of cytoplasm, and then mitochondria is using pyruvic acid to produce energy further, to oxidize it with oxygen and to produce CO2 in the water. And as I said, the photorespiration is okay. Photosynthesis is using light to create energy molecules, ATP, and it depends on light. And what is happening, what is important, is NADP plus molecules. This is how it is named. Let me just nicotinamide D-ribonucleotide, like this. Nicotinamide D-ribonucleotide, and this is also kind of enzyme, and this is also energy molecule. So it is this enzyme which participate in energy production. It's very, very important to produce proteins, and in animal cells it is very, very important, but not much in photosynthesis. But also even almost all processes in the cells, they use these enzymes. In nicotinamide D-ribonucleotide. Okay, we have again this cycle of production of energy. You see this nicotinamide, this NADP molecules, they participate in production of these ATP molecules. This is sort of enzyme. Okay, we will not go too much inside the details. Okay, and adaptation of the leaves, we can see, okay, what is leaves got adapted to environment. They can reduce, they adapted so that to lose less water or make that also epidermis a little bit different. So it's okay. It's you can just read this table and understand. And we go to a little bit further, so that leaf adaptation can be such that leaf is used to some plants have dendrils, which are modified stems so that they can grow somehow better, like grapevines. So you see, and other leaf adaptations, it like spines to protect from animals, so they are not eaten by animals or less eaten by animals. And we have adaptation like the leaves are used to store energy, to store the carbohydrates inside, or to store other products, okay, like even fat. And next again that they have so they these leaves can be used for reproduction, asexual reproduction. So they don't produce flowers, but they can produce other plants, and which are falling, and they get rooted to soil, and they grow. And even such adaptations of leaves that they change color, they look like it is a flower, but it's not flower, it is actually leaves. And then they have they attract pollinators, and inside of this they have small flowers, very small flowers, and red leaves improve. They attract pollinators, so they work to get more seeds. Okay, so you see, Again, that plants, that leaves can be adapted to for different environment, and they can be like water plants and like pine trees and cactuses and other stuff. Okay, so the waxy needles, those they are they try to save water, so they don't evaporate much water. Okay, then broadleaves also, but the broadleaves are different. They maximize energy, light, they absorb in more sunlight. And okay, what in spines again, they are in cactuses, and they protect from animals. Okay, that's all. Okay, please, I will make this video, I will upload this video to YouTube. You can watch it, and I hope it will help you, and I will prepare the quizzes, so we will next time also will do some important job. Okay, thank you for your time.